Hello everyone, I'm Father Cooper and this is
Lucy.
And welcome to another edition of Cooking with Father Cooper. We are preparing for this Sunday, which is the Solemnity of Corpus Christi, as we celebrate the body and blood of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the great gift that the Lord has given us in the Eucharist to be able to feed us on our journey. And so today, what are we making, Lucy, in order to represent this great feast of Corpus Christi? What are we going to try to make? Do you remember? A monstrance. And a monstrance, for those of you who may not know, is certainly one of those articles that we use in order to hold the Blessed Sacrament, to hold the Eucharist, so that we can bring the Eucharist in procession and we can adore the Lord in the Eucharist. And so, in order to make this monstrance, what are we going to start with? What are we going to use as our base for the monstrance?
Waffles.
Waffles. And so we're going to make waffles today. And so, we have started with our waffle mix. Certainly you can buy your waffle mix in the store and just follow those step-by-step instructions. It's very easy to make. And once you have the mix made, then we're going to go to our waffle maker. And in order for us to make the waffle, we remember this is this very hot, Lucy?
Yeah.
It's very hot.
I can even feel it from over here.
You can feel the heat, huh? And so we want to make sure we're very careful. And so we're going to take some Pam and we're going to spray the bottom.
And the top.
And the top, thank you. And then we're going to take, what, 1 scoop, 2 scoops? How many scoops, Lucy? 1?
At least 2.
Do you think 2?
1, actually.
1. Okay, so we're going to take 1. So we get a big scoop of our waffle mix, and we're going to pour it right in the center.
Right there.
Oh, doesn't that look good?
And then we wait for a few minutes.
We wait for a few minutes. Should we close it first?
Yeah.
So we close the waffle maker, and then we have to do what? Turn it all the way upside down. And so we're going to wait a few minutes in order for our waffle to be nice and brown and crispy. Now, if you don't want to make waffle mix, certainly you can go an even easier route, and you can get your pre-made Eggos, huh? They come in a box right out of the freezer. And so if you're using that, certainly you just stick them in the what? What do you call this, Lucy? A toaster, huh?
Toaster.
And then what do we do with the toaster? We push it down. Awesome!
I can't do it.
There you go. Let's see. Let go. Let's see. Okay. There we go. And so we wait for the waffle. So we wait for that. So we have our waffles cooking here. We have our waffles in the thing. So we wait a few minutes on each of these. So while we're waiting, in order to have our waffles for the monstrance, we want to talk to you today a little bit about one of our activities that we're doing at the church and St. Elizabeth Ann Seton School. As you may be aware, our Footprints for Life Club at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton School and our St. Anthony Ministry to the Needy at Divine Mercy Parish is putting together blessing bags. They're sort of like care packages for different ministries and for those who are in need. And so while we're doing these episodes of Cooking with Father Cooper, we are reminded that as I have the joy of working with Lucy, certainly we do have kids in our community who are sick, and certainly some who are terminally ill. And so we're going to make these blessing bags, these care packages, in order to send to them. And some of the things that we include in them is what, Lucy? What do we have here? We have a coloring book, and what do we have here?
Some activity stuff.
And some activity sets.
That's true. Oh, ow.
And then we have things, sort of small games, like card games, or even infant toys. And even we accept gift cards to like fast food restaurants, because certainly many times these families are taking care of their sick or terminally ill children, and it provides for them a meal. And so you can drop those items off at the church, or certainly you can bring them to our St. Anthony Ministry or to C's, to the front office. And our ministries and our children will put all these together, and they'll go to Angel's Place, which is located here in Metairie, in order to be distributed to families that have sick or terminally ill children. So we hope that you participate in these activities. You can find more information in the comments section for our Facebook Live. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that so that we can certainly care for those who are in need as we prepare for the Feast of Corpus Christi. And we're going and we're looking to see if our waffles are finished. And so we're finished, and we've got perfect timing here, Lucy. So we're going to turn this one back over.
Yep.
And what are we going to do? Lift this up?
Open it.
We're going to open it. Oh, look at that. Oh,
I
perfect.
got
Both of them finished at the same time.
two. I can get them.
And so we've got, so we're going to take this one off.
Perfect.
And we're going to place it right in the center of our pan here. And this is going to be the top of our monstrance. So we're going to close this so we don't get burnt. And then we're going to take these out because they're finished as well. And so you can use either one. Here we're using our homemade waffle.
You can use that for the size
And
or
here-
different size.
So we have
That
sides.
would take 2 fruit.
So you can also put, certainly, we can also make a second one using our Eggo waffle. And so before we continue, we know we need to do a what? We need to make a base. So what are we using to make our base? Lucy?
These.
Okay. So we're going to make our base. So let's put these closer. Okay. Awesome. Good job.
Oh, whoops. I'll take a different one.
Take a different one. Very good. And let's make a base over here. So we'll do 2 different kinds. You want to make a base for me? We'll take this one. This is a malfunction one. Very good. And so we've got our base.
And then,
Okay, so we've,
now, you could do this one or those,
okay.
but then you can also do this. But you
So-
can do as many chocolate chips as you want.
You can do as many chocolate chips as you want, whether they're
Well,
chocolate
I'm
chips
gonna just do 2.
or they're butterscotch chips. So those are going to represent the rays. So we know in the monstrance, the Eucharist is going to be right in the center. And that's going to be our whipped cream. But we're going to wait a second to put the whipped cream in. But we're going to put rays coming out that shows the glory of God shining to us in the Eucharist and God's power and presence. And so we're going to put our rays together. So Lucy will work on one side and I'll work on the other side. And you can use butterscotch chips, you can use chocolate chips, you can use whatever you like.
Yeah, but yeah.
Let me see, Lucy. Let me bring it down a little bit so you can reach.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so we have all of our chips and our making our rays. And this is a wonderful way, after you go to Mass on Sunday for Corpus Christi, to celebrate and remember the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. Okay. Wonderful. There we go. And you can have as many as you want. So now we have our monstrance. And our
Now we
monstrance
need
is our
to do-
base. Now, what's going to represent our host? The whipped cream is going to represent our host. So let's move this for a second.
Yeah, take the topping off.
And so we know the host.
You can also put it in your mouth.
You can also put it in your mouth. Now, what do we have to do first? We have to do first, Lucy, to that bottle of whipped cream.
Shake it.
We have to shake it really good. Shake it really good, and that's going to represent our host. Because the monstrance, remember, carries Jesus forward, and it helps us remind us what we're supposed to do. So we take this, and what do we do? We squeeze it down.
Squeeze it down. I can hold it.
You can hold? All right. So
Yum.
there's our Eucharist, and let's do one over here. So there's our
Put
Eucharist.
them in my mouth.
Is that good?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
See, there's many things you can use whipped cream for. You always need need to test your products and what you're making while you're working here. So, we have our waffle to make our monstrance. We have our rays that are shining out from our Eucharist, the host that's inside. And it reminds us, boys and girls, that we're called to be like a living monstrance. That we receive Jesus and we're called to bring him into the world. And so we're a living monstrance, bringing Jesus into the world every day. And so this is why this is a great activity. And then certainly, Jesus shines his power and his grace and his light upon us. And so what do we have here to help represent the glory of God? Sprinkles. And we know all kids love sprinkles. So what kind of sprinkles are we going to use?
I'm going to do this one now.
Okay, so let's do the sprinkles. Awesome.
Now a little bit of this one.
And this is the deluxe sprinkles. All kind of different choices.
Actually, maybe some more with
So maybe what about the silver?
this one?
Yeah, that's shiny. Those are the silver ones. Maybe on this side. I'll hold it. There we go.
What?
There we go.
Whoopsie.
All right.
Sometimes I do.
There you go. All the sprinkles you want. The more sprinkles, the better. So we need some sprinkles on the top. So pick out one more. One more we haven't used. Okay. And so,
That's too much this time.
so we're going to put some sprinkles right there on the top. There you go. A little bit there. Awesome.
Yum.
And so
Do
we
it
have
like
our sprinkles and we have our monstrance. And so we can put a little more sprinkles over here because we have our second one. Remember, this is the one we made using our waffle maker. This is the one we used using the toaster. And while you're doing that, I'm going to put some rays.
Oh, I put them blue. I put them gray in that one.
All right, so that's
Also, a
that's
little
a
bit
silver.
more gold.
Yeah, we like gold. Gold shines up all kind of ways. There we go. And so we're going to just finish this off with a few more.
But we can't do black.
We're not using the black, correct?
Yeah, can't. That's not a good color.
That's not a good
Just
color.
do bright color.
Just do bright colors. So remember that. No, don't use the black sprinkles. Only use the bright colors.
Unless, if you did want to use the black, you can use it to make, like if you get just the teeny tiny rectangular sprinkles, and then you can make it look like the cross on the host. But we thought that might be a little too complicated for Lucy to do.
For those of you who are more professional,
So if you have some bigger kids or bigger grandkids, that would be a good way of actually using that to decorate the whipped cream host.
so there we go. So we're going to turn these around so everyone can see. So if you're using, here's our homemade waffle maker, which shows the Eucharist in the center and all the sprinkles coming out showing God's glory shining into our lives, and that we're called to be a living monstrance in the world. And certainly if you want to do something a little simpler, you could use the toaster and an Eggo waffle, and certainly you can do it as well. But certainly, my friends, all of this helps us to better enter into what? The celebration of the Eucharist. And remember the presence of Jesus in all of this. So we certainly thank you for joining us. We had great fun today making all of our monstrances. And so as we sign off,
Anything about Corpus Christi that the church might be doing? Like for like the processions or anything?
well, certainly various churches will have different processions. We know that Archbishop Amen is having a procession after the 11 a.m. Mass at the cathedral as well. And so various schedules are out there for those processions. And so certainly you can check on our website in order to get that information. And so we are very excited that we have our monstrances for Corpus Christi processions, and for our ability to remember, even when we go into the Adoration Chapel and we see the monstrance, we know that Jesus is present in the Eucharist. And that's represented by our whipped cream, right, Lucy?
Yep.
In the center. our whipped cream in the center with all of our, what do we call these? The sprinkles? Those are the sprinkles? That is right there, all of the sprinkles. And so we hope you have enjoyed joining us for another edition of Cooking with Father Cooper to prepare for the Feast of, or the Solemnity of Corpus Christi. We thank you in advance for helping us with our blessing bags and getting those items for our children who are terminally ill or who are dying so that we can care for them and their families. And so as we sign off, I say, I'm Father Cooper, and this is...
Lucy.
And we say to you, Bon appetit! Thank you, everyone. God bless. Have a great day.